Hey guys, it's Goose back again with another video. I think this is episode number 55, and we're playing as white in this time as in our 5-minute game, or not 5-minute game, 10-minute game against Herr Schwindel from Canada. Very cool. And we're in the Alekhines. We're in an Alekhines defense. I don't really know any names of the variations. My opponent chose to take with this pawn. Very cool. I'm going to go ahead and develop this bishop over here, controlling a good square that the enemy bishop might want to be going to. And this bishop is going to be blocked in, which is very interesting. I think I'm going to go ahead and continue my own development over here. This does allow him to give me a bit of a pin, but I don't think it's too bad. We'll live with it. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and castle. And my opponent also chooses to castle. Very cool. Yeah, so far so good. And I'm really trying to see what do I do with this opponent knight on this square, because I mean it's just a strong knight. I don't think I want to play something like this, because I had a tournament game earlier where my opponent did play the Alekhine's defense. I put my bishop here, but he takes, and then I take back, and it weakens my king a little bit, and maybe my opponent then has a move like this, which can weaken this this pawn. So I don't know about that. If we play c4 right now, he still has this move, so that doesn't work. So maybe we just play c3 and then bring this queen over here. So that could be something to do. But right now, my this opponent is also pinning this bishop. There we go. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead to c3, and maybe we can play this knight move over here, and then bring the queen over here. Okay, my opponent played a very silent move, which is interesting. Not exactly sure what he wants to do with that move, but no worries. Yeah, so if we go right here right now, he can take this, and then if we take back, we have isolated double pawns, and our king's a little open. So I don't think that would be great for me. Oh, something that we might have had here was actually this move right here. Now that I think about it, because if he takes, I had this check. No, but then he just takes this, and then when I take here, he takes this. I take this. He still has two knights, and I'm only one knight. So, okay, it's all good. All good still. But still need to figure out where my other bishop goes. So maybe I should just go ahead and bring this knight over here, bring the rook over here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do this knight right now, or this rook over here on this open file for now. And then later we can choose to maybe bring this knight through here, which would be a nice square, because when we play h3, then we can go ahead and take his bishop if he ever chooses to go to h5. And if not, he doesn't choose, then we still have really strong squares for our knight on both e4 and this other square, which I can't get the name of, f5. There we go. Okay. And it looks like my opponent also is choosing to bring his knight into the game. His other knight into the game. So let's see how this goes. Okay. My opponent played c6. Interesting. I guess he already showed that he's not going to be bringing a knight onto this square after a move like this, when he could easily play knight c6. But it's still interesting. So maybe one knight will go to f6 and one knight will stay on b6 in the future. But I'm not too worried, because I could play a4, a5 to bully this knight off, and he doesn't want to jump in right here just yet. But I think I'm going to go ahead with this this idea still. Feels like a normal, good idea. So why not? Okay, and my opponent goes ahead and brings this knight over here. Very cool. So Yeah. If we do bring this knight over here, does he have something funny with like this move? I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and just put this over here. And now we could be threatening things over here with this move. Because we're really asking questions there. What do you want to do with this bishop? If he goes back, we trade it off. If he goes here and trades it off, boom, we trade it off. And of course, if he goes back, it just doesn't seem like a fun move for him. But he could. He could if he wanted to. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead with this plan right here. Let's think about this. But then if he takes here, I take back with my queen. He tries to move his bishop back. I guess I take his queen here. He takes back, and then I can play something like this to bring my other rook into the game. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead with this move. And if he just moves his bishop back here as well, it's still good enough, I think. Wait a minute, this bishop back. Oh, well, if he brings this bishop back, we just win a piece. That wouldn't work. If he goes here, though... Okay, he brought it all the way back. Interesting. So we do have this move, which also threatens to win a pawn, but then he can just go back for now. Or we can play this move too, but his knight can still come over here. I still like this move though because it can take away his light squared bishop. That could be interesting. Right now, this other bishop is being blocked up. And if you play something like this, we still have a move like knight e5 to jump into the game. So yeah, I'm going to go over here. Just threatening to come and trade this bishop off. And if he just moves back here, I guess we just can play bishop g5. Very normal developing move. Okay, he goes ahead and takes, so I'll just take back. And I apologize, but I've got a cough, so I'll be back in a second. Okay. Interesting move by my opponent here. This does weaken his king on the dark squares. He still has a dark square bishop to contest it a little bit, so he's fine. But I guess we have to bring our bishop back. So I'll go ahead and house it over here. Not really in the way of anything. And these squares are still all good and guarded. But now he kind of loses the ability to play this. Oh, now that he has a bishop here, so it's kind of back. We could play this move too, where we're threatening this pawn. Doesn't really seem to do much though, so maybe not yet. Anyways, maybe the bishop on d2 is a good idea to push. So when I play something like this, kind of pushes him away. Kind of good for us. So I'll go ahead and play bishop d2. If he chooses to trade, I do have to take with my queen. I don't think I have another option. Don't really want to take with my knight. Okay, but he goes ahead and moves his queen out of the way. Interesting. Very cool. So now I guess he is threatening to trade. If I take with my queen, he brings this other rook into the game, and all of a sudden, he has control of the open file because I'll have to back up one way or the other. Still not exactly sure which way I'll back up. Maybe I should go over here though. We could make some poke this pawn a little bit. We are running low on time, so we gotta speed things up just a little bit. But yeah. If this knight moves now, we could play this to kind of make this into a bigger problem, but he still has many ways of solving this problem. Okay, he goes ahead and brings that over here. I'm going to go ahead and maybe attack this knight because right now, kind of defending each other. That's really it. Okay, but he goes ahead and plays that move. Very cool. Don't really want to take with my Dick's rook because he's just gonna get the thing for himself. Maybe this is a good idea to try to open this up. If he pushes, I can just attack him back. So I'm gonna try this. You can open things up, attack this pawn, and this should be better for us. No worries. I'm gonna go ahead and take. And then I'll take here. If I take here and his bishop takes, then I can take this. It's not guaranteed, though. But then if his knight goes back, I probably still have some decent moves. I'm going to go ahead and try it out, because I think this is my worst bishop anyways. So let's try to see. Yep, he does that. No worries. I guess we can play this move over here. And where will his knight go? If he goes back, it's probably fine for him. Maybe a better move was to kind of go in through here and then infiltrate, but we missed that, unfortunately. Trying to get this knight into the game, that's a very complicated way to do it. I think this is the faster way to do it. So we can go try to see if we can get this knight onto the square. Maybe attack his bishop. Wait. I'm actually struggling a little bit, maybe. My opponent's making a pin. Let's go here. I don't think he really has a way to exploit this pin, so it's fine. But we just gotta keep an eye on this. Also, we're getting really low on time now, so a lot of moves are not gonna get a full explanation, unfortunately. I think, let's go ahead and play this, so that if he does do this, we can kind of just back up, and we have enough attackers and defenders. If he does take here, this could be something that happens. Because he goes back here, and then we bring a knight to attack. And it's a little confusing what happens, but that's fine. And now I think we are guaranteeing some sort of trades. And the way this game is looking right now, it might end up being a draw because it is a opposite colored bishop endgame. Unless some things are traded off, like these knights and bishops. But let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take here. And push this away. But it looks like a really big draw. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to make progress. It's still a very close position where we only traded off like 2 pawns the entire game. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle. I'm going to go ahead and play this move. Because if things are opened up, it should be a bit better for me. So I'll go ahead and take here. And then bring this pawn over. or this king over. I want to maybe make it a bit more active. If he takes here, we take back with this, and then we are blocking enough things to the point where maybe if we bring this king up, we could start like trying to even push this for promotion. But it's still very, it can go really any side. Anyways, bringing this over here. And if we go here, he pushes here, I go here. We're gonna end up winning a pawn, I think. Or at least getting back a pawn. But it's still really confusing. And if my opponent's able to turn this knight more active, I don't know how we're gonna do this. The moves like this are gonna be annoying. If we can make it over here, it would be a winning endgame, but we have such little time, I don't know what we can do. Yep, let's just go over here. Let's go over here. Oh no, well, we did end up losing some material. And if anything, it's going to be a draw. Because he could just go here. If we take this, he takes back. And yeah, this is just going to be a draw. That's unfortunate. I didn't even feel like there was really a place to, I guess, win this. But actually now, my opponent might be messing up a little bit. Giving me this pawn could be something bad for him. Or maybe he's just, okay, he's going to go ahead and take the pawn. And that's just going to be a draw. Okay. Well, the computer thing does say it was 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, 0 misses, all that stuff. But we still got to go over just to make sure, just to check it out. So what is the Alekhine's defense? The normal variation, apparently. And then we brought this bishop, we developed, we castled. All of this okay. C3 is an inaccuracy, but it's fine. Bringing this over here, bringing this over here. Knight F1. This maneuver works out for us. It's good. We play H3, and then we play Knight FF, which is a slight inaccuracy. Apparently C4 was the better move. C4, and I want to investigate this just a little bit further because, I mean, it would have been nice to make some winning chances, make more imbalances in the game. It was very drawish. It was kind of like, it's kind of like in Exchange French. We had an Exchange French the other day, yesterday, I think. And this was very drawish, a very symmetrical position. But making some imbalances would actually maybe make some winning chances. But I was still scared of this kind of move where all of a sudden he is attacking our bishop, but apparently bishop b1 is the best move here. That's amazing. Bringing the bishop all the way back to b1 is the best move, and it's because, well, he's been wasting a lot of moves getting his knight through over here. Oh no, it was more like through over here. But we only used 2 moves, and they're bishops. They can move out of the way really quickly if needed. After something like king g8, which is apparently the best move, we could play just bishop g5, developing this other piece. We can play a3, just kicking him back. And where does he go? He goes to a6, which is a horrible spot. And a6, the only thing that he really sees in the future is c7. And from c7, then again, he has to go to e6. And the knight doesn't really see any light. It's a really bad knight. It's not sure what it's doing. It's hard to get back into the game. So actually, this helps us get a lot of space. So after knight a6, maybe we can just play b5 over here. b5, and then maybe we can fianchetto. Apparently, the computer doesn't like that move too much. Knight c7, and maybe he's playing for some breaks. I'm not sure. And it's also slightly weak. I don't know. It's just maybe not the best to overextend because of moves like this, where the bishop's also going to be having like an extra defense. But queen b3, poking out this pawn. Trying to make some weaknesses in the opponent structure. And then, of course, bishop g5, which I guess needs to be played because that's better for development. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. So that would have given us a bit more space to work with, maybe on the queen side. And We still keep the bishops. I didn't think about bishop b1 though, but I'll keep an eye on that for sure next time. Knight f5 is still fine. It's an inaccuracy, but it's not that too bad at all. g6 is excellent, and we just bring it back. And we're playing this and this, and this is all fine. Apparently, it would have liked us to trade the rooks off and give him the open file, which is interesting. And that's because of a4 now, and that would break open things for sure. Oh, sorry, going back to that line, let's see. a4, and our opponent ended up playing something like a6 when we played a4 ourselves. This time, though, we also have c4. We missed c4. A move like c4. If he takes here, I guess we take. Why don't we take the queen? Why do we take with the queen? So we're threatening to win this, and then I guess we also play rook c8 and threaten to win this pawn too. And maybe the opponent is not able to hold on to both of them at the same time. Let's see. So we're attacking this. If he does something like this move, because he's defending and also attacking at the same time. Oh, it still drops a pawn, and then after something like this, we have rook b1, and all of a sudden we have an open file as well. Everything is still guarded. So this bishop, so he can't take anything, and the bishops also do an amazing job at controlling this entire thing. So the opponent rook can't infiltrate either. So that's interesting. If he goes to queen a3, I wonder if we can take this pawn. Thinking, why can we not take this pawn? Oh, because we just dropped the bishop. That would be horrible. But it likes bishop c1, I guess just kicking him out. Maybe bishop f1 is also an idea. Oh, it's there. And then you can take this pawn. So really interesting moves here. So we kind of missed this idea. But we kind of saw something similar afterwards. a4 is the best. And we're +1 over here. So I should have taken over here. I think over here we started like kind of panicking a little bit. We're on low time. So I took over here. But taking, lets him take with this pawn. This pawn structure is still not damaged. And it's still interesting. But if we take over here, and takes with the rook again, we probably have the c4. We do. c4. If he backs up with knight c7, I think we can just start taking. A takes b5. He takes over here. And maybe rook a7, pinning this knight to the queen. That works. Yep, that's the best move. Pinning this, and his position's a little glued down. If he goes something like rook c8, maybe we can start taking these pawns. If he takes with the knight, he loses his queen, so he won't do that. Goes here, and we could take this maybe? There's a lot of things we can take. Just trading it down, but we're going to have a passed pawn over here. Apparently, though, this doesn't work because the queen takes b5. Because if we take with the queen, his knight takes. So yeah, at first I was only thinking that the knight could take, but of course the queen can also take. So if you after you take like here first, and then this happens, now you have this move, which is really interesting. Because after you take here, do we have queen takes f7? We do. And now both of our pieces are on this file. We're threatening this piece as well. Oh, we're also threatening this bishop. If he tries to do something funny like this, well, we're going to take this bishop first and then bring back this rook because it's check. And if he tries to just save this bishop, we win the knight back. He takes. And then if our queen takes, we're threatening mate 2 over here. So if he takes a free pawn, it's not free because check. His bishop is the only person who can block, and then that would be checkmate. So that's really interesting. So we really had to play on the queen side there with c4, and c4 I think we missed. And after that, it was just very even. So after rooks takes like that, maybe even over here, still rook takes e8 is slightly better because after he takes here, we could still go for like c4 and then still play on the queen side because we still have this amazing entry. And our bishop actually stops him from being any useful on this file too. Like the knight stops this, bishop stops these 2 squares, pawn stops this pawn stops this. So entire file is still covered. So he didn't really threaten anything. Well, we took it the wrong way, and all of a sudden I feel like it just started to become a draw. Over here, though, we did have bishop takes b5. Why did I not like this? Did I mention it? I feel like I might have mentioned it. Oh, I did mention it. So we expected his knight to take back, but he took with the bishop, and that's when we said, "Oh, we should do this," because we kind of win a pawn. Not completely though, because he actually has moves like this, I guess. Oh, but then queen takes d5 because there's another pin here. But the computer was actually finding this move. But after we take with b and he takes back, we do have the slightly better pawn structure. We do have a knight for his bishop, but the pawn structure is able to even it out. Which is, oh, so that's really sad. I saw this move, but I guess I just still failed to play it. And then after this, it started becoming still very drawish. Luckily over here, we were able to find queen d1. With, I guess knight of 3 is still good enough. Because then we can bring our queen back anyways, and he doesn't actually have a way to kind of use this pin. If he plays this right now, yeah, we're just going to back away, and it was defended. If he plays queen here, and then we bring our king over here to protect this. If he takes here over here because he has two attackers, it's not really worth it. Queen takes, rook takes, rook takes. He's going to get our rook and bishop for a queen and an active rook, but probably not. But everything starts to get traded down, and this is just dead drawn. Over here, let's see. Was there any chance we could have made something happen? G5 was a mistake, and we did have something. F takes G5. He plays this. We should have played H5. We should have played H5 because this would be a passed pawn immediately. And his pawn is also going to get in the way. So we can start pushing this, actually, right here. And then all of a sudden, he's kind of panicking. Because how does he stop this? Like, if he just does something random, really bad like this, we push over here, he can't really make any progress just yet. So then we start bringing our own king over. And it should be good. Some way. Some way. H6. Oh, and he's actually in Zugzwang. Because, I mean, if you could wait and then he puts his king here, it's still really hard for me to actually make progress because king is the pawn is controlling ways to come through here. Knight's controlling this. Okay, so let's red arrow this. So this is controlled. This is controlled. Knight controls this. Pawn controls this. This knight's controlling this. Pawn controls this, and then of course this is protected as well. So the only way to come through would be like walking this king all the way through this to actually get in, but that would be a long while. So maybe black will be able to find something, but yeah, that's interesting. We missed h5 though, and that should have been a really strong move, but we missed that. We played this move, and after he takes, it's still drawable with b4, which is really interesting. Kind of just giving up a pawn, so it's really hard to see. He plays this move, and we should have played bishop f5 over here. Why should we have played bishop f5? You know why we should have played bishop f5? Because this forces a draw almost. Or not a draw. It forces a trade almost. Because if he just kind of moves this knight like something like this, we have this this move over here. We're going to take a bishop. We're going to be happy. Or not a bishop. We're going to take a pawn. And then, of course, we're going to walk our king over and we're going to trade this off. Our king is going to need to stop this. And we have a passed pawn on both sides of the board. So that's why something like knight f8 is the best. But all of a sudden, our bishop is just dominating this knight. He doesn't really have anything to do. If we play king over here, we're just going to be better. If he does eventually trade off like this, we're going to win these pawns faster. Then he can try to win this, and then we're going to have queens faster. So we would win that race. So bishop f5 is what I missed. King g4 was played. King h6 again is played. He should have kind of just, I guess b4 still works. But knight c7 is better, is okay here because I guess ultimately he is able to kind of just save everything, which is interesting. He plays king h6, and we play king f5 because we missed that again, and we play king. There's just a lot of misses in a row here. Apparently, we should have went this side to just win the pawns. These pawns are the important ones. This is a passed pawn, but it's still very easily stoppable because there's a bishop staring straight at it. So we missed that. Bishop c2 is okay. And apparently king e7 was the best move. We played this. And again, we're still winning over here, which is really interesting. After a move like this, it's really interesting. If he goes back to f4, we go to h7. Maybe this move and then come over here to attack this pawn. Win from the other side. But yeah, we missed all this, unfortunately. The game went like this. b4 is a great move. Cool. Did this happen in the real game? I'm so confused. Oh yeah, I did. If we take here, it's still winning, actually. Which is very interesting to me. But he does win this pawn back. And then our bishop's in danger. Apparently b1 is a square, h7 is a square. All this is winning. Let's say if we go to h7. I'm not exactly sure how it's winning, because after something like this... Oh, he has this. He doesn't have a knight move. If he goes to f3, we're going to win a pawn. Only way to protect it is like this, but we're attacking it again, and he's going to be kicked off. So we missed all this. Oh, man, we had so many possibilities. That is completely won. Even though it says it's a great move, that's so funny. So at low depths, the engine doesn't realize that this is losing for black, so it gave it a plus 0.78, which is why I didn't say that I had like misses. But I could have just taken it, probably just won. But after something like this is just completely drawn, because at any time, my opponent can just sack the knight. So after something like this, he could just play this. If my king comes over here, he just takes. He doesn't care. If we take the pawn, this is the insufficient draw thing. If we take here, we're still going to win this pawn, and there's no way to stop. So that would have been a draw, but we missed some opportunities in the endgame, which is very sad. But yeah, it was still a very fun game. Lots of learning opportunities, and we should have still won that. We were in control the entire time. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that's it for this game. So I'm going to go ahead and end the recording right here, and I'll see you guys next time.